Welcome to This Week in Washington for Friday the 13th, here in April of 2012. Let me begin by saying that we had a good meeting this week with Bill Shoemaker, who was in town to discuss our upcoming expo in Baltimore. Part of the good news we received from Bill was that we had completely sold out all three of the hotels we had scheduled to use for expo, and he's busy searching for an additional overflow hotel to add, and it would appear that we shall have an excellent turnout for expo in Baltimore as planned. Additionally, Bill was very enthusiastic about the turnout we're experiencing for our trade fair. In addition to what I reported last week about our good numbers, we've had additional vendors joining the trade fair, and it's certainly Bill's hope, as well as ours, that this will be CTAA's most successful trade fair in the association's history. We also have very good numbers on registration for other activities at Expo, so I think we're looking forward to a very successful outcome. I think when we originally talked about Baltimore, we thought that perhaps the unique nature of the Baltimore airport and the very low fares it offers might turn out to be a very attractive option for Expo, and I think it appears that that is exactly what's happening so far. Beyond Expo, next week I plan to be on the road in Indiana. You will recall that several issues ago in Digital CT Magazine, we wrote about the E2 taxi that Jim McClary has started in Indiana that was also assisted by CTDLS. E2 taxi has been up and in business now, and I'm going to take an opportunity to go out and see it firsthand how it works and to assess whether or not Jim's plans for considering franchising those operations might be good for other community transportation providers and members of the association. We think that we can be very helpful with that because with the low interest rate that CTDLS has to offer, it does appear that we could help people expand into this affordable alternative, especially for healthcare. So I'm looking forward to that next week, and I'm also having an opportunity to visit the plant where the MV1, the accessible taxi, is being constructed. As you know, that's under new management. They will have a major presence at Expo this year. And earlier this year, I did write a piece of testimony that dealt with how accessible taxis can play an important role in meeting the mobility needs of Americans, again, especially those Americans who need special transportation services, particularly those who are out of healthcare institutions and need more day-to-day transportation in healthcare. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to developing a relationship with the MV taxi people that might allow CTDLS to become a major financing partner for them when they sell their equipment in the community transportation network. Again, our hope is that part of our 3.5% that we might have for sales in that field could be used to strengthen those services that are provided by our members everywhere around the country. So those are my plans. In Washington this week, it was fairly quiet since Congress is still out of town. There hasn't been much progress on anything else on reauthorization, although yesterday Scott Bogren stopped by with a recent news release from Congressman Micah, the head of the T&I committee, who had devoted a considerable amount of paper to his attacks on the General Services Administration for holding parties in Las Vegas and doing things that the taxpayers don't like and wouldn't ever want to have happen. But unfortunately, he didn't have any information for us on reauthorization. I also like to report that some of you have probably heard that our Director of Training, Len Cahill, was recently seriously ill, and I can report to you that Len suffered a heart attack recently, but is on the road to a full recovery. As a matter of fact, he was nice enough to stop by the office the other day, and we hope to have him back here next week and continuing the great work he does for us in the training area. As I reported to you also earlier this year, we had certified over 30,000 people in the PASS program. That number is already up to 35. So Len and Stephanie, who helps with that, have been doing an amazing job, and we're looking forward to having Len back to continue that work. So that's pretty much all I have for you this week. I will be reporting back after my trip from Indiana, and I hope I have some good and new information to offer. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to more news on Expo as it develops. I hope that you'll have a very nice weekend, and I'll be in touch with you soon. So thanks for now, and again, have a nice Friday the 13th. Bye for now.